I'm much more comfortable standing than I am sitting.
Hey, we could get like a standing dais.
I have it.
I didn't say forever.
Would it be inappropriate to hit him with the Bible?
Yes. Open up my at least open up my access.
I thought you were standing until you guys had to sit
I was,
down.
but I had to sit so my iPad could see my face so it would unlock.
Well, I'm standing because it's more comfortable for me to stand than to sit.
A lot of executive sessions. Craig's not going to be here tonight.
I know we're saving dollars.
Oh, there it is.
You on yet?
Got 1 minute. Not 7 o'clock yet.
I'm just asking. I know some people have a timeline on this. So.
The dense fog advisor.
Yeah,
Again.
It's 7 o'clock.
Okay. Guys, you join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's why I'm really standing.
I make a motion to appoint Sean Gresh as temporary chair for the purposes of reorganization this evening. I make a motion, whatever.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion?
No.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I humbly accept the nomination. There are gonna be a few changes around here. Now that I'm here.
It did say temporary chair.
Very well, yes, I understand. You'll underscore the temporary nature of my chairmanship. I will now seek nominations from the Board of Supervisors for chairman of the Board of Supervisors, or chairperson, I apologize, ladies, for the Board of Supervisors 2023. Are there any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Bill Jones.
There's one. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other nominations?
Motion to close the nominations.
Motion to close the nominations. Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very well, congratulations, Mr. Jones.
Do we have
Okay.
Cynthia with us this evening?
He just logged on right this second.
Tell us when she's live and about.
I didn't hear that delayed comment over there, so I was wondering if she was there.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Technical difficulties.
Oh, hold on, I know why I'm on that. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Cynthia.
Soon as I turn the volume on my computer.
Sorry, technical difficulties.
Well, we've already had the vote, Cynthia, for chair. And
see.
William Jones has been elected.
Okay.
Back to you.
Very well. I will now seek any motions for nomination of the vice chair of the Board of Supervisors for 2023.
I nominate Stephanie Shortall as vice chair.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Are there any other nominations?
I nominate Mary Beth McCabe.
No, there's a nomination on the floor for Mary Beth McCabe. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Supervisor McCabe. Any discussion of the any other nominations? There being none, I will seek a motion to close the nominations.
Motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion of the motion to close nominations? All those in favor of the motion to close nominations signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Very well, motion granted. Motion is passed and the nominations are now closed. Is there any discussion of the nominations of Stephanie Shortall and Mary Beth McCabe as vice chair?
No.
All right, in that case, we'll put it to a vote. How do you propose, how would you like to do the vote? Should we just?
All those in favor of Stephanie, say
Okay,
whatever.
I just wanted to make sure you want to do it that way. Some other directions, we had two nominees. The first nominee we heard was Stephanie Shortall. All those in favor of Stephanie Shortall as vice chair, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nay.
Aye.
I think it's nay, Cynthia.
Nay. I never know. It sounds like a horse. Sorry.
It's confusing.
Motion passes 3-2.
Right?
I now tender my resignation as Tipper.
Smart thinking. Get the public meeting agenda. First, call to order the meeting. The board seating has already taken place. Chair comments, we did not have an exec session tonight, so there's no real comments to go over at this point. Presentation items.
There are none this evening.
Very good. Next item will be zoning hearing board applications. We have two that are coming up. Who would like to discuss them?
I'll take that, Mr. Chair. The first zoning hearing board application before the board tonight is the application on behalf of 4275 County Line Road. That is an application for a use variance in a shopping center. The applicant is seeking to install an indoor fitness center. It's a chain called Hotworks. As you can see from the plans that were uploaded as part of the application, it would appear to be approximately 10 bays of infrared heated sauna areas in which people can do things like hot yoga or hot spin class or things like that. It is a request for a use variance. The most appropriate use would be J11 use variance, which is recognized under your zoning code. The current application, however, is for, I don't have it in front of me, I'm sorry. In order to move forward, they need a special exception from the board. One thing I would point out to the board that's interesting, and this is noted both in the application that you received, as well as the lease that was appended to that application, and as well as on the Hotworks website, is that it is anticipated that this facility would be open to its members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We had another fitness facility over there that was open supposedly 24 hours a day also.
Yeah.
This one, from what I can tell from the website, it does not appear that it would be staffed 24 hours a day, but there apparently there would be some sort of access code or a fob or something like that to get in.
That's how the other one was.
That's how the other one worked too.
I'll note that while that's, I wanted to point it out because it is of interest, I think, there is no restriction in either the current use definition or in the J11 use definition that the applicant is seeking to apply that would prevent 24-hour a day operation.
I don't have any objection.
All right. Very well. Then we will not, the township will not seek to intervene in that matter. We'll let the zoning hearing board decide and see what happens. The other application before you this evening is for 137 South Limekiln Pike. This is an application of Craig and Pauline DeFelice, and they are seeking a minor subdivision. A preliminary final minor subdivision application was submitted on August in August of 2022. It was reviewed when it was going to the Planning Commission, and the engineer. Some discussion was held with the township engineer and the applicant. It had also been reviewed by the fire marshal, and the only issue that I saw pointed out was an issue concerning the source of water for the fire suppression system. I don't know if that's been resolved or not, but that wouldn't really be a zoning issue for this matter anyway. But that is the only issue that I saw in my review of the application. It is a minor subdivision, 2 lots.
2 additional lots or
No,
one
one
additional lot?
additional lot, 2 lots total.
Okay.
Isn't this the one that would result in 2 non-conforming lots?
Yes. The current home is already a non-conforming lot that's on just under 5 acres. This would result in 2 lots. The existing home being on 1 lot and being approximately, I think, 2.5 acres or thereabout. And then the other lot being creating 1 new B1 single family dwelling lot on 2.29 acres of property, which is permitted by right. The remaining 2.12 acres of property shall contain and continue with the legally established existing non-conforming B6 multifamily use. So it's essentially, currently it's a B6 multifamily use, it's non-conforming. They're seeking to split off 2.29 acres of the total property to at least have the ability to construct a B1 single family home on that lot.
Which will not be a multifamily use.
Which would not be a multifamily use. As the multifamily use in that zoning district is non-conforming, they wouldn't have a by right use to a multifamily, but they would have by right to B1 single family.
Did our engineer review this request at all or have any comment on it?
I do not have any comment from the engineer on the request at this time.
Board's closed.
Cynthia's raising her hand.
Cynthia's raising her hand.
Oh, go ahead, Cynthia.
I see that it says conservation easement. Is there already a conservation easement on the property and they're splitting it in 2, or are they making a new one? Does that make sense, the question?
The question makes sense. I don't recall seeing a mention of a conservation easement.
It was on there.
Was it?
It was on the plan.
And it looks like it kind of goes down the new dividing property line.
And there was something else about something would be removed that wasn't clear to me what it was. Has the engineer reviewed this at all? Was it sent to him? Her?
I think they were trying to get the zoning determination before they went to the full plans. I think that's right.
Because it was a zoning matter, the engineer hadn't reviewed it.
The land development plans,
Because
yeah.
it can't go to land development because
Right.
it didn't pass zoning. They need zoning relief. And so the engineer did not review it until the zoning hearing board.
So are they proposing to remove the conservation easement or keep it or expand it? I didn't get a full-size printout of the plan. And it was difficult to understand what they were doing.
Application, there's nothing mentioned in the application itself about changing
Anything.
any conservation easement. So if there's one on the property, as far as the application is concerned, it doesn't look like there's attempting to disturb that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not intending to change the conservation easement. And they're not going to look for multifamily.
Yeah.
I would say let the zoning hearing board be my thought.
And at this point, it going in front of zoning, the zoning hearing board doesn't necessarily, even if they have plans, I'm not saying that they do, but even if they have plans to disturb that or change that conservation easement, that wouldn't be before the zoning hearing board at this point.
Right. I don't have any objection to leaving it to the zoning hearing board.
Cynthia?
I agree.
Sorry.
This side of the table over here, what's the story here?
I
That's
don't
fine.
have a problem with leaving it to the
Okay.
zoning hearing board at this point.
Greg?
Yeah, that's fine.
Very well.
Okay.
And we will take no action in regard to that application either.
Okay.
Those are the two matters on your agenda tonight regarding the zoning hearing board.
Oh, there was something that came by about the adult daycare decision for the zoning hearing board decision.
The zoning hearing board did meet on December the 15th and did render a decision. I believe you're referring to the 1100 Horizon Boulevard or Horizon Circle. They did render a decision in that matter. The decision has not been reduced to a writing yet. My suggestion to the board would be that we review the official decision, when it's in writing, and then the board can determine what, if any, action it wants to take at that time.
Okay.
So the clock won't start until after we get the written decision.
That's correct.
Okay.
And that written decision is due, I believe it's 45 days after the decision is orally given at the meeting. So that decision would be due right around the end of this month.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay, public comment. Seeing none, we'll move on to action item. There's a motion to adopt resolution 2301, 23 appointments, reappointments. Modifications of appointments effective January 3rd, 2022. I think it's January 2023 effective.
Yes.
How many times have you done that already today?
Is there a motion to adopt resolution 2023-01?
I'll make that motion and then I'll have a comment once there's a second.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussions.
So I'm making that motion, acknowledging the fact that we still have some work to do about how we're going to make up Park and Rec, and also that there has been a request on some board members' parts that we seriously reconsider creating a EAC again to have some community input into environmental concerns in the township. So that'll be coming down the pike, but it's as part of our appointments and reappointments, we'll have to consider people that are currently sitting on boards to maybe serve on that board if they so desire. So that's my speech.
Okay, but that doesn't affect the current resolution.
Nope.
I also have a comment, if I may speak next, Mr. Chairman. I noticed that I was just going through the authorized attendees to state and county conventions. Includes Board of Supervisors, tax collector, township manager, assistant manager, police chief, finance director, and public works superintendent, which is a modification of our usual authorizations. what state and county conventions are we just authorizing there?
We're not authorizing anything. We're just authorizing that they would be eligible to do that. Anytime any staff would like to go, it would still need approval.
Okay, all right. I was just,
It's not saying thou shalt go to these committees. It's just giving us the leeway to say, hey, look, you've been approved.
Okay.
You're allowed to.
I was just concerned if we were all going, say, to PSATs, that there's no one left in the township to run it. Okay. That's my only comment.
Unless the board would like to close the office. So.
Okie dokie, next.
I will remind our administrative staff that we are a government entity, not a private entity.
Do you have any,
temporary chair for them?
Cynthia, have any questions?
No, I do not.
Okay, so we have motion and second to adopt resolution 2023-01. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Then she needs a better internet connection.
I think it's probably ours.
Doesn't work that way.
She did say aye, I heard
I
her.
heard.
She said that. Next item, motion to adopt resolution 2023-02, the 2023 fee schedule. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
We'll second it.
Discussion.
So I would like to bring to the board's attention that this updated fee schedule only includes updated fees and rates for the zoning hearing board solicitor, the township solicitor, and the township engineer. Nothing else on the fee schedule has been changed or updated. We do have some recommended changes that we would like to bring before the board at a later date, hopefully not too late. We as the staff believe that we were not in a position to discuss those changes with the board as of yet. So we're recommending to keep the fees as is until we've had a chance internally to discuss any updates and changes. We will be in a better position to discuss those at an upcoming meeting with the board.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Cynthia?
You're getting a raise.
No.
No.
Okay.
So raise your stand.
We have motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 See, she has a good internet connection.
It is a delay. I'm sorry. I
There
say
we go.
aye at the same time. It just comes in a little late.
Next item, a motion to approve the 2023 meeting dates. Is there a motion?
We'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the meeting dates?
Anybody have any updates to it?
Not yet, but it's early in the year.
Indeed.
So we have motion and second and no further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, sorry. I'm trying to say
And
the
you're
most
here.
possible. I'm enjoying this.
Next item, motion to approve and hire Justin Elvidge as Park and Recreation Crew member for New Britain Township as of January 3rd, 2023. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on it?
Cynthia can second. She's over there.
Well, we gave her a couple seconds. We'll give it. All right, we have motion and second. Any discussion?
I would just like to take this moment to welcome Justin to New Britain Township. He started today. I have to say it was one of the better interviews that I've been in, and having this young man come in, and he was a pleasure to interview, and we're looking forward to having him join the Parks and Rec crew and seeing what he can bring to the table. Welcome.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Next item, motion to authorize purchase orders for Corbett Inc. and Diversified Storage Solutions. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Make that motion?
Mhm.
We have a second.
Second.
Discussion.
So thank you. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a couple minutes to explain what we're doing here. As the board and I have been discussing for the past several months, we have been moving through some administrative updates to furniture and reorganization, redesign of the furniture area And we moved through the final designs, of which the board has all seen. And we finally have the final quote for both our file system, storage system, and furniture redesign, including ship and installation. And that was what is presented to the board for authorization. In order for us to move forward, we need a authorization purchase order. And we have not ordered this furniture as of yet, given the sheer size of the dollar amount. I wanted to get the board's authorization to process the purchase order. Wanted to remind the board that this is included in the recently adopted capital plan. And also it was budgeted included in the 2023 operating budget. And most of these funds are going to be used, if not all of the funds are going to be used using ARPA. And I'm really excited about it. And any questions?
I have some comments.
All right.
I was very surprised to receive this on Friday. It seems to go quite beyond the scope of things that we had discussed or that I have seen. And I take issue with your statement that the board has seen all of them. I saw a design for the large admin area, which would add desks for the staff that we're adding, which is needed. And I did approve that. I was never shown, discussed, told any of this other items for the conference room or for the individual offices. And I don't even know what we're talking about when it says lobby. If we're talking about the lobby to the building, are we talking about something in the offices that is the lobby? I did look up some of this furniture, and as Stephanie and I had both indicated when you showed us the idea for the boardroom, I really don't like the furniture. So my first question is, where it talks about the lobby, where is this table and chairs going to go? It's page 2 of 20 of the quote.
Yeah, so this plan does not include this room.
I know that. I'm talking about the first, it says lobby. What lobby is it talking about?
This room that I showed you this room. Because of that feedback and because that this part of the project seemed to go beyond the scope that we originally thought, we phased it. We started this as phase 2. The lobby, given that anytime anyone comes into our admin offices for right to know requests, they're walking through the office, which Chief can attest to is not the most secure environment for township employees. And so in order to facilitate that, what we've decided to move forward with in this plan is create a table and chairs outside of the door coming in the admin, the secure door.
So what I would refer to as the lobby out there.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my question.
Yep.
It was a simple answer. So we're going to have a table and 2 wooden chairs with metal legs. And I'm sorry, when did we decide on what furniture was being purchased or run by? Because I've never seen any of this before.
I've discussed this with the board quite a bit.
You have never discussed it with me, Mr. West.
Mary Beth,
I'm trying, look, this has been an ongoing problem.
Mary Beth, Matt,
Yes.
for the longest time has been given us an opportunity as a board to provide input as to the redesign of the administration.
Absolutely.
Can I let me
Sure.
finish, please?
Sure.
As to the redesign of the administrative offices to better facilitate a work environment that will make productivity and efficiency a hallmark of the township. As part of that, he has the entire time told us that they would be procuring new office furniture for each one of the offices. He has been very forthright about all these things. And you have had an opportunity, if you went on to the SharePoint, to look at Corbett's work, to look at the plans, what they were proposing. He's been putting it in the weekly whatever forever, that
I'm not saying
Corbett was
I'm-
working on this.
Okay, I'm not
So, and
unaware.
it's not our job to nitpick the furniture that our administrative staff feels is appropriate for them to create an environment for them to work in. So he's budgeted it.
I do think
He
there
came
should
in
be.
extraordinarily close to budget. I think it's a $10,000 over budget, somewhere around there.
All soup to nuts were actually under budget.
Are you all soup to nuts? We've approved it. Nobody said boo this entire time. So I don't want to sit here and hear
I'm
you
sorry,
say you
Greg.
haven't been
All right,
informed.
Greg,
when you've
it's
had
my
a
turn to
chance.
talk. I'm saying it was not shown to me. I'm not going to be shouted down. I do not believe it's my job to go hunting around on the SharePoint to find things. He sent stuff to us. It did not include any of this. The only design that I saw was the inside of the administrative offices where we're going to have individual desks. We commented on that. We went back to that. That was fine. We approved that. I know we were planning on doing it, but I do not recall being told that we were doing that now. And I take exception to some of this furniture being ordered. It's very faddish, and I don't think it's going to stand the test of time, and I will not vote for it.
Made your point. Cynthia?
My only question was, is this everything that we need to do? Furniture plus the filing system and the server room and all that sort of thing. I was just wanting to make sure that it's everything and there will be nothing else for the rest of the year.
Yes, everything but the meeting room, because that's going to be a whole different project.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't have any other questions. I mean, I think that we did give Matt direction that we wanted him to talk with the staff and work with Corbett to determine what was the most efficient type of furniture, what was the most efficient way to outfit the offices to make them work for the staff. We're not here every day, so I have confidence that they've had those discussions. They've used professional designers to figure out what that is. The budget was approved as part of the capital plan for the offices, for the common area, for the conference room and the lobby. That was all part of the capital plan that we approved. So I think that this is, we've already given that the direction that we were looking for in this.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? I will make a general comment that I was aware of the main area inside the administration that we were redoing. It must have been my fault for not looking at the fact that you were also redoing the individual offices. I thought we were just working on the premise of the lobby, the main area in the center of the office, and the conference room. So that would be on me, that not knowing that there were 6 other offices we were working on. So, but if the situation is that you have warranted that going to come in within budget or close to budget, now does that also include the file system?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, those are my questions. Comment. Any further questions?
No.
Okay.
I think you've just made my point for me.
All right, so we have motion and a second to approve authorized purchase orders for Corbett. No further discussion. All those in favor of approving signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I would like to make a quick point. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're not done with the vote.
Yeah, I
yet.
know. I'm sorry, Mary Beth.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes to authorize purchase orders of Corbett. You want to make a comment after the fact?
Yes, for the minutes. And that is that there is a specific line item in the capital plan and the budget referencing administration office furniture for 7 offices that we all approved. So that was part of Matt's mandate, and it, so I just do want that to be on the record.
May have been a mandate, but as Bill has also, it was never sent to us, and I do not believe.
It wasn't sent to us. I'm just saying I didn't see it.
Well, I think we read the emails. I'm just saying that there is, again, a breakdown in communication. I am not doing this job so I can spend my time going onto SharePoint searching for whether or not the North Penn water minutes have come in, because they should just be sent on to us to keep us informed. So it's a failure of communication. And
okay.
I've said my say.
Made your point.
You've made your point.
Okay.
Move on.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
I have found the email that we were all sent on November 25th with all of the final renovation plans. So I have been attached and they have been sent out in November.
Okay.
And both Bill and I missed that somehow.
Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you very much, Cynthia. All right, so 4-1, we approved the authorized purchase orders for Corbett and diversified storage. Next item would be information items. Departmental updates. Administration.
Sure. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New hires, welcome. As I said previously, Justin Elvidge. And also we have a new face at the dais with us this evening, sitting over in the corner, feeling a little lonely since Craig isn't here. I'd just like to welcome Dave Conroy to New Britain Township. Today is his first full-time day, and it's just great to have him part of the management team. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Last thing I wanted to bring to the board's attention is that PSAT's registration opens in a week. So please be on the lookout for an email from Mike, probably sometime this week. I know I have one confirmation on that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Police chief. Quiet Christmas and New Year's, I hope.
Good evening. Yes, it has been a good end of the year. And we're looking forward to an even better 2023. The new police vehicle is totally equipped and on the road. So I know that's something that we've been talking about for a few months now. We also have one of the patrol sedans that has a blown engine, so we'll be looking for to replace that sooner than later. I did give an update on personnel. I'll just say one of the officers that I indicated that's on light duty had a follow-up appointment today, and he'll be continuing on light duty through April 4th. But there'll be no impact to operations. And that concludes my report. Any questions?
Have we gotten any, have we put the ad out for the new officer?
Yes, the ad has been posted on our social media and on the PA Chiefs of Police website. And to date, we have received 9 applications.
When does it close?
It's January 30th is the close date.
Is it appropriate to ask if we've gotten any new applications?
Yeah, these are all new
Okay.
applicants. They haven't applied before.
Okay, good.
Very good. Thank you, chief. Public Works.
So both Public Works and Parks and Rec, those reports will be included on the meeting for the 23rd. Nothing to report tonight.
Okay. And finance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I only had one point this evening in regards to, if you'll remember, based on our budget presentation and the resolution that was adopted in December, giving us, as the township staff, the authorization to transfer the excess EIT and transfer tax money over to, the general reserve. Just wanted to let everyone know that did occur on our last business day, in the amount of just over $505,000. So that was more than, if you'll remember from the budget presentations, we were looking at a reserve goal, where 3 months of expenses in the amount of $1,625,000. So right now we sit at $1,600,079. So by the skin of our teeth.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Any other questions?
I just have a question. It's something that had come up, and I'm not sure this was ever done. Have you met recently with Keystone Collections to check out how they're operating and how they keep up with new hires in the township? And
So Keystone does give a report at the tax collection committee meetings, and there was one held in December.
okay.
So if you would like, I can pass along the report that they have like it's pretty much the same thing every time, but it's a little snippet of what Keystone's doing, and then the tax collection committee will vote on if they're going to continue to use their services. And I believe their service contract expires at the end of this year.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to see that. I just know that let's just say I know a few things, and maybe things could be tightened up on their end a little bit. I'm just curious how they collect the information and what's going on.
Sure.
Okay, if that's it, board comments.
Where are you starting?
Hmm?
Where are you starting?
I'll start to my left.
Okay. I have some questions regarding grant opportunities and why we're not quite ready to apply for or seize these opportunities when they arise. And from my understanding of recent events in December, it's because we have no
Shovel ready.
concrete ready plans to do things. What can we do to change that? I do recall I had sent an email asking that this be put on as an agenda item, but I'll bring it up as a board comment since it wasn't.
So, grants are always in the background that we always look for to help supplement our funding. And the best analogy I can make is coupons. Coupons are great if you can find a coupon for a product that you're already using to reduce your costs. But where coupons become cost ineffective is when you start buying things that you don't typically buy. And so my philosophy with grant seeking is to not just go after grants for going after grants' sake, but to have projects that we can then go after grants to help reduce our costs. And that's always the lens through which I look at projects. And, this is something that the township hasn't been positioned to do well for quite a long time. And I'm pretty excited about where we're moving in the near future and having a capital improvement plan, which identifies capital improvement projects. And in order for us to start working on projects that are shovel ready, this board needs to begin authorizing the engineer to work on these projects to get them up to that point to have fully engineered plans. Sometimes where some grants you can use money to do the planning, like the Neshaminy Greenway Trail that we got. But this one that you are referring to, I believe, was for construction ready projects only. So yeah, we're always looking to get grants and better position ourselves.
So do we need a list of, I know we have projects. Do we need to look at a list of those projects and authorize the engineer to start doing plans?
Well, I think one of the problems that we run into is that unless it's a specifically budgeted item, especially since a lot of grants have matching, unless we've allocated specific funds, which we needed to have a capital plan first to be able to identify, and then we have to set aside that money in that calendar year as part of the budget. There's a certain responsibility on, I guess, our part as a board to, all right, so we want to do something at the Coleman property with the outbuilding and do a trailhead and whatnot. Well, if there's a trailhead grant, and there's a $250,000 match, well, we have to figure out where we're going to get $250,000 from.
But
And we have to commit that money before we can have the engineer go and engineer it, because we have to set the money aside. Then the engineer engineers it. Then it's a shovel-ready project. Then you can go for the grant. So we have to approve funding, approve the engineer, and then go for the grant.
okay, but we don't have a list of projects that we're working on to do that. Am I correct?
I don't think so at this point.
Other than what's in the
got
capital
nebulous.
plan, which is sort of a obvious idea of at some point.
So the closest we can get to it is I responded in that email chain about the grants. Is the stream bank restoration project that is in our capital plan. That was the closest thing that we had that was ready, but as I talked to the township engineer, Craig, about it's not shovel ready. We still need design for it. And that's going to take a couple months to do also. That's the closest thing we have. Now that the budget has been passed, we can now start moving on authorizing the engineer to work on fully engineered plans for that stream bank restoration project. The idea is that this board should authorize and have an expectation that we will always fully fund these projects. Any grant monies that you get, that's going to be your coupon. That's going to be a nice to have. In order for us to start moving forward and taking it more seriously, we need to start funding, planning, getting fully engineered plans so we can hit the ground. And I talked to the township engineer that was the week after the capital improvement plan was adopted. I said, look, you all, Gilmore has a whole grants team and I want to turn on the grant faucet. We're working on it. I know it's not, I hate saying that because it sounds like we're not prepared, and I continue to want to make us to position ourselves in a better prepared situation.
Well, I want to start whatever we need to start and get it moving so that when these opportunities come around I still call it free money, even if we have to put up a match. It saves the taxpayers money of fully funding it, and we need to be prepared to move. And the other thing that came up with this recent water grant was possible stream bed issues up with the infamous Keller's Road Bridge, which is not only a bridge issue, but they've also pointed out to us that we have stream bank erosion. So I would like to have a plan of what we're doing and how we're going to move forward so that we're ready. I know some of it's in the capital plan, some of it's in the budget. And different things come up at different times, especially with Park and Rec. And now that we're going to have a part-time Park and Rec person, we need to have these identified and be more available to move on the grant opportunities when they come up. That ties in with the EAC. That ties in with the township and the engineer. And while I'm discussing that, it also brings up the issue of the Keller Road Bridge and how we need to schedule a meeting.
Yep.
I think we need to set that tonight, figure out how we're going to set a date in February and who are we notifying directly and who are we going to notify by public notice.
Well, personally, I'd like to see us move that to our January meeting, full January meeting, where we have a chance to.
Should be on the agenda, right?
Right, to be on the agenda, but also we could discuss it in our exec session as to how the scope of how we want people involved.
Okay.
So our solicitor will allow that. So.
Okay, but I mean, it needs to be on the next agenda. We need to do something with that. It's been pending for 3 years.
I tried to encourage everybody to go up there and meet with Matt
I've been up there many times and
meet with Ryan and all that kind of fun stuff. So I mean,
Craig had done. There was a report from Gilmore a couple of years back about it and what needed to be done. So I have been up there many times and looked at it, driven over it, talked to the people.
Right.
So I think we've all been up there.
Yeah, so now it's time to pull everything together.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, was that the 23rd?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Stephanie?
Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for all the work that all the staff did last year. I think we made great strides. There's still work to be done, but my first year being here, I didn't have a lot to compare it to, but I think it was a good year moving things forward for the township. That's all I have.
Gregory?
I've said enough for one meeting. I'm done.
I'd like to compliment the staff again for another good year that was passed. And other than that, I will let everything else.
Wait,
ride.
wait, is it?
Cynthia.
Cynthia?
No, just Happy New Year, and thank you staff and management for setting us on a new path for 2023 and all your hard work in 2022.
Okay. Okay. Is there any old business? Is there any old business?
Little business, sorry. We're still stuck in 2023.
Is there any new business?
You want some time travel?
No new business?
No new
Yes.
business.
Before I formally adjourn, the next meeting of the Board of Supervisors of New Britain Township will take place on Monday, January 23rd, 2023, 7 p.m. at New Britain Township Building, 207 Park Avenue, PA. The agenda and meeting materials are posted to the township website prior to the meeting date. And also this meeting will also be posted on the website within a couple days. There being no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
There's a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Cynthia, aye.
Bye.